My dear students, welcome to the second module of Carbon Compounds chapter. The objective of this module is this will explain the detailed content of versatile nature of carbon, its characteristics, saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons, what are the steps involved in writing a line structure, and about straight chain, branched, closed carbon chain. Let us have a small recap of our previous module. Previously, we have learned about what is meant by chemical bonding, which is the force of attraction between the atoms. We have learned what is ionic bond. Ionic bond is complete transfer of one or more electrons from one atom to the other. And covalent bond is sharing of electrons between the atoms. There are various ways in which covalent bond can be represented using dots and cross. And the types of molecular model includes electron dot structure, ball and stick model, space filling model. And we have seen the electron dot structure of various molecules like water, methane, ammonia, sulfur, etc. This helped us to understand the structure of carbon compounds. Carbon is a versatile element. The word versatile means the ability to adapt to many different functions or activities. So carbon is different from other elements. If you see, it forms extremely large number of compounds are formed. You can say entire living kingdom is made of carbon. So the compounds vary from a simple methane to DNA consist of carbon only. You can see the structure of methane here as well as your DNA structure which you are familiar. All these are made up of carbon as a base. So till now the number of known carbon atom is about 10 million. So this is larger than the total number of compounds formed by all the other elements that exist. And the molecular masses of the carbon compounds, they range from 10 to 10 power 12. So it is huge. So we'll see some carbon compounds with their molecular masses. This table shows you a variety of carbon compounds ranging from methane, cooking gas, benzene, all this to DNA, which ranges from, you can see it is 16 daltons to 10 power 12 daltons. You can see the variation in molecular masses. So this is one important property of carbon. What makes carbon versatile? Let us see its characteristics responsible for that. The first one is catenation power of carbon. We'll see what it is. Catenation power is the ability to form strong covalent bonds with other carbon atoms. So this results in the formation of very big molecules. There may be open chain or closed chain of carbon atoms. The open chain may be a straight chain or even a branched chain. All this we will be discussing elaborately in the coming slides. And it is also possible to form a closed chain, which is a ring structure. If you see, the covalent bond between two carbon atoms is strong and it is stable. You can see a straight chain here. So you can see the bonding is a single bond also, triple bond also. And here I have given you various compounds which is a ring structure. Carbon can form this ring structure also. So all this makes carbon, enable carbon to form variety of molecules. The next characteristic is its bond formation. See, two carbon atoms can be bonded together by single, double or triple covalent bonds. Take for example, two carbon compound ethane. With a single bond it is ethane. With a double bond, it becomes ethene, and with a triple bond, it becomes ethane. These are three different compounds. Due to this ability of carbon compounds to form multiple bonds, so the number of carbon compounds increases. So the next characteristics that helps carbon is its tetravalency. See, we know that one carbon atom can form bonds with four other atoms. The four atoms can be carbon and also any other atom. So these compounds possess different properties as per the atom that bonds form. So for example, I have taken a carbon atom with two elements, hydrogen and chlorine. We'll see what other compounds can be formed from that. The first is CH4, that is methane, you know very well. So the second one is CH3Cl, which is chloromethane. The third one is CH2Cl2, which is dichloromethane. This is trichloromethane, the common name is chloroform, and carbon tetrachloride. You can imagine the versatile nature of carbon now. So the carbon compound forms covalent bond with elements like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, halogens and phosphorus to form different types of carbon compounds. The next property is isomerism. Now, what is isomerism? It is the phenomenon in which the compound having different structural formula. It means that if you look at the compounds, they will have a different structure, but they have same molecular formula. This is called structural isomerism. So this is one important property which helps carbon to increase the number of compounds. For example, you can see all these compounds that you are seeing have same molecular formula, that is C4 and H10. You can count the number of carbon and hydrogen in all these structures, they are going to be same. But when you see the orientation, that is with which the atoms are arranged, they are different. So this is how they have a different structural formula but same molecular formula. Now we will see about hydrocarbon. What is a hydrocarbon? First, hydrogen is present in smaller or larger extent in majority of carbon compounds. The compounds that contains carbon and hydrogen as only two elements. If a compound is having only carbon and hydrogen, they are called hydrocarbons. So these hydrocarbons are the simplest and fundamental organic compounds. And the smallest hydrocarbon known is methane. So methane, the formula is CH4. You know, this is the smallest hydrocarbon. When it comes to hydrocarbons, drawing a line structure is very important. Let us see the steps involved in writing a line structure one by one. For that, we are going to take an example of a hydrocarbon, that is ethane with molecular formula C2H6. It means that it has 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. Let us see the steps. The first step is to join the carbon atoms with single bond. So here our example has 2 carbon atoms. So these 2 carbon atoms will be joined with single bond. This is the first step. The second step is to use the remaining hydrogen atom. So here we are having 6 hydrogen atom. We are going to use these 6 hydrogen atom to fulfill the valency of carbon atom. We know that carbon is tetravalent, means that the valency of carbon is 4. So this is how we are going to fit the hydrogen atom so that the tetravalency of carbon is fulfilled. So this is how we will write a line structure. Let us see how to write the line structure of one more compound, that is ethene. The molecular formula of ethene is C2H4. So first step, we know we have to join the 2 carbon atoms with a single bond. Let us do that. So this is how we are going to join the carbon with a single bond. Now There are 4 hydrogen atoms and we are going to use the 4 hydrogen atom to satisfy the tetravalency of both the carbon atoms. If we try that, the structure will end up like this, and you can see that one valency of each carbon atom is not satisfied. You can see that now the carbon is having only 3 bonds. It means that one valency is not satisfied. So, in order to satisfy the tetravalency, we are going to draw a double bond in the place of single bond between them. Hence, the structure is now complete. The tetravalency of both the carbons are now satisfied, and this is the structure of ethene. For more understanding, let us see the electron dot structure of ethene as well. Here you can see 2 carbon atoms, 4 hydrogen atoms, and the electrons of carbon are denoted in red dots and hydrogen is blue cross. You can see both the carbon atoms are sharing 2 electrons each. So hence it results in the formation of double bond between them. Now let us see writing the line structure of one more hydrocarbon, that is ethyne. The molecular formula of ethyne is C2H2. First, we have to join the 2 carbon atoms with single bond. And now, we have to use the remaining 2 hydrogen atom for satisfying the tetravalency. Let us try that. So, we clearly see that it is not satisfied. So, here 2 valencies of each carbon atom is not satisfied. So, to satisfy the tetravalency, we are going to draw a triple bond in the place of single bond between them. Now, you please check the tetravalency of both the carbon. They are having 4. So, this is how we draw the line structure of ethyne with triple bond. Let us see the electron dot structure of ethyne for more understanding. You can see the carbon, both the carbons share 3 electron each. Here also you can see the carbon are sharing 3 electron each. So hence they have to be connected with one bond for each pair, resulting in the formation of triple bond between these 2 carbon atoms. So, through the examples we have learned so far, we learned that carbon and carbon can exhibit multiple bonds. So, according to the bond between a carbon and carbon, these hydrocarbons can be classified into 2 types. Out of that, the first one is saturated hydrocarbons. The carbon compounds having only a single bond between 2 carbon atoms. Here we have to keep in mind we are taking only carbon atoms into account, not hydrogen. So if there is only a single bond between 2 carbon atoms, those compounds are called saturated compounds. So they have the general name alkane, A-N-E, ends with A-N-E, alkane, and their formula is CnH2n plus 2. If you calculate it for any compound that has only single bond between carbon atoms, this is going to be their general formula. And now this table is showing you a variety of compounds with single bond between them. You can see all the carbon atoms are bonded only with single bond. So these type of hydrocarbons are called as saturated hydrocarbons. Now the second type is unsaturated hydrocarbons. So the carbon compounds having at least one double bond or triple bond. Not necessary that all the carbon atoms has to be bonded with a double or triple. It should be containing at least one double bond or triple bond between 2 carbon atoms. Then those compounds are called unsaturated hydrocarbons. The common name for double bonded compound is called alkene, and it has a general formula CnH2n. And you can see, so this table shows you the number of you can see the double bond between the carbon atoms. These are all examples for alkenes. Then the common name of a triple bonded compound is alkyne, YNE, and its general formula is CnH2n-2. And this table shows you a number of triple bonded compounds. You can see the triple bond between two carbon atoms. So these are unsaturated. If it is double or triple, they are called unsaturated hydrocarbons. The saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon is due to the multiple bonding ability of carbon. So apart from that, according to the structure, they can be further classified as a straight chain carbon compounds or a branched chain or a closed chain. We will see them one by one. So the first is straight chain carbon atoms. How they are formed, we will see. A straight chain of carbon atom is formed by joining the carbon atoms that are next to each other, that is one by one. The carbon atoms lie in the core of the molecule. They form the center, where the hydrogen atoms form the boundary, that is periphery of the molecule. You can see one carbon atom here, two carbon atoms and three carbon atoms. They form the center, that is core of the molecule. And the hydrogen atoms, they form the periphery, that is a boundary. So the mutually bonded carbon atoms in the core, they are the skeleton. They form the basic skeleton of the molecule, and this carbon skeleton, it determines the shape of the molecule of any carbon compound. The next type is branched chain carbon atoms. Not all the hydrocarbons are straight chains. So many have branches of carbon atoms attached to a chain. So these are called branched hydrocarbons. You can see an example here. A carbon atom with a chain with 4 carbon atom can have either of these structure. And here you can see this is C4H10, that is a compound having 4 carbon atom and 10 hydrogen atom. Earlier also we have seen it in the place of isomerism. The same here. They exhibit same molecular formula, but you can see the difference in structure. This structure is having a branch attached to the main skeleton. So these types are called branched chain carbon atoms. The next step we are going to see are closed chain carbon atoms. See, apart from straight chain and branched chain, closed chain are also present, where the carbon atoms form a ring. The skeleton forms a ring structure. For example, it is cyclohexane. You can see the structure. The cyclohexane consists of 6 carbon and 12 hydrogen. You can see the arrangement of 6 carbons linked to each other and form a ring structure. And here, with all the hydrogen atoms substituted, you can see the difference in structure. This is a closed chain of carbon compounds. There are many compounds that exhibit this ring structure. We will see further also. Let us understand more about these hydrocarbons. See, if the hydrocarbons, all type of carbon atoms, whether it is a closed structure, open structure, ring, they can be saturated or unsaturated. As you can see in the table, so the first one is straight chain hydrocarbon with the example of propane with 3 carbon atom. If you can see, the whole row is consist of compounds with only 3 carbons. But the first one is propane with A and E, where the carbon atoms are linked only with a single bond. It is an alkane. You can see the formula CnH2n+2 also being satisfied. The second one with the same 3 carbon atom but with one double bond makes it an alkene, and the name propene, CnH2n formula you can see. The next one structure is, you can see a triple bond between the carbon atoms. So the name becomes alkyne. For alkyne, it is propyne, YNE, with the general formula CnH2n-2. So from this we understand whether a hydrocarbon is a straight one, branched one, or a cyclic one. they can be saturated as well as unsaturated. The second example is isobutane. It is an isomer of a normal butane. So you can see the branch structure with only single bonding between all the carbon atoms, and it is unsaturated in the name of isobutylene with a double bond between the carbon atoms. Next, if you see in cyclic hydrocarbons, the known example what we have seen is cyclohexane. That is 6 carbon atom and 12 hydrogen atom with single bond between the carbon atoms. And one more example, cyclopentane, meaning 5 carbon and 10 hydrogen atom with the same ring structure. As you can see, these two are saturated hydrocarbons. The same you can see a cyclohexene, ENE, means that there is a double bond, and you can see the number of hydrogen atoms reduces by 2 due to this double bond. Hence the name hexene. It is an alkene and it exists as a ring structure. The next one, this is an interesting compound called benzene. Okay, there are 3 alternate double bonds. So the double bonds may be between these two carbon also, these two also, but the only condition is they will have alternate double bonds. And this structure is commonly called as a benzene ring structure. You can see the formula BC6H6. So the compounds that are having this characteristic unit, they are called as aromatic compounds. Now, aromatic compounds are the second major components of crude oil, and they are named aromatic because of their fragrant properties. They will have a peculiar aroma. Hence, they are called as aromatic compounds. Children, do you know? In course of millions of years, the reserves of crude oil were formed from dead organisms that are buried under the seafloor. So this crude oil and natural gas are now recovered from oil wells that you know. The natural gas is mainly methane, but crude oil is a complex mixture with thousands of different compounds, but it mainly contains various hydrocarbons only. Many useful components such as CNG, that is compressed natural gas, liquid petroleum gas, and other fuels and lubricants are obtained by separating the crude oil using a method called fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is the process of taking a chemical mixture and using heat to separate out the various components in that mixture. So all the components, they will have a different vaporization capacity. So according to that, they will be separated and used. So we have learned a lot about carbon and hydrocarbons today. Let us summarize the points we have learned. So carbon is a versatile element. By this time you know that very well. And it exhibits characteristics like catenation power, multiple bonds, tetravalency and isomerism. So hydrocarbons can be saturated, that is the carbon and carbon will be linked only with single bond, or unsaturated, at least one carbon will be bonded with 2 or 3 bonds. So there are certain steps to be followed while writing a line structure of a compound, and the carbon chain can be a straight one, branched or open one. So all type of carbon atoms, they can be saturated or unsaturated. So children, we are coming to the end of the module. I think that you can do a small homework. Draw the electron dot structure of cyclohexane. You can try it in your notebook. So there is so much more into this chapter. There are many interesting topics to come. So we'll see in the next module. Thank you very much.